Sometimes it's unpleasant, and sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just like, okay, well, that happened, and so what?
Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Belgian Jasper. If this is your first time on the channel, hit subscribe right now. You know, you often hear about bands like, how did this band not become bigger? Especially when people look at the individual musicians that are in this band. Well, one of the best examples of such a band is ALCATRAZZ. A lot of people will remember ALCATRAZZ as the band that launched Yngwie, Malmsteen, and also Steve Vai. The band came back last year with a great comeback album, but then the band fell apart again. Singer Bonnett has now left the band, started his own version of ALCATRAZZ, and then at the same time, ALCATRAZZ is also now back with their 5th album with new singer Doogie White. To learn everything about what's going on, I sat down with band founder and keyboard player Jimmy. So Jimmy, thank you so much for your time today. The new album, V or 5? How should we call it?
5. It's the 5th album, so yeah, 5. We got real clever with that Roman numeral 5, you know, that was...
I'm sure that many of the fans will have seen the little video that Doogie posted recently talking about the album, also referring to it as 5 or V, and maybe it stands for victory, and maybe it stands also for victims, vengeance, right. Vilified. Is he having a bit of fun, or
no, that's Doogie.
The recent changes in the band's makeup didn't go as friendly as sometimes advertised?
No. There was no big deal, and the 5 has nothing to do with that at all. It was literally just, well, let's see, this is the 5th album that ALCATRAZZ is. Oh, okay, so we'll call it 5.
Yeah.
Because we just thought, trying to come up with it. It wasn't a concept album. Mm-hmm. It was just, we wrote these songs, and we wrote a lot of songs, and then picked from all that material just to make a good cohesive record, you know. And so there was no concept to it other than just make it, you know, heavier and a lot faster songs, more fast songs, and little bit different direction, more like the old No Parole direction. But Doogie, I can imagine Doogie. He's got this sense of humor that just blows my mind. Yeah. You wouldn't believe the emails I get from him. He sends me emails, and we all have a little bit of a beard, or most of us do. And Doogie, he sends emails. He goes, "Men with beards," and then in parentheses, "or some without." And then it's just funny stuff. So I'm not surprised. 5 or victory, or does it mean vengeance, or does it mean, you know? That's great. Graham had a good sense of humor, but Doogie is a very up kind of guy, and he's all about the music all the time, and a very positive approach to the music. Yeah. It's all music to him. It's all music all the time.
Yeah.
And he's into every detail, and that's refreshing. It's great to have a singer that's like that, that's totally immersed in the music. Right. It doesn't just walk in and go, "Well, what do you got for me? We got a track, I'll write to that and sing it," you know. But Doogie's not like that. He's 100%. He wants to know every detail and makes comments about every little thing and every aspect of it. So it's been great.
Did you have to have that conversation about, like, hey, here's some of the expectations that we have and some of the commitments we're looking for? Because a guy like Doogie plays in 200 different bands at the same time. And, you know, and now that the world is starting to open up more and more, I'm sure that you're, having some hopes and dreams on taking this new music on the road and stuff like that. So what does that look like with Doogie?
We didn't really have any conversation. Doogie was our first choice. We wanted Doogie, and we just thought he's the perfect guy for this. And I was trying not to think of like, well, what if he can't do it or doesn't want to do it? I didn't want to think about that, because he's the guy we wanted. He had just finished a solo record when he joined us. So he was done with that, and we asked him, we said, so what are your plans for the future? He was already in, and we were already doing songs, but I said, hey, so what are you doing yourself? And he goes, this is it. He's thrown himself into this completely, so this is his main thing. I mean, right now we're all concentrating on Alcatrazz and touring. I mean, we'll start in England 1st of November, and we'll be over there until the first part of December. And then we come back for Christmas, and we'll be home until after the first of the year. A lot of great singers out there, but I know some of them, and I won't mention any names, but I wouldn't want to work with these people because we don't get along, And some of those people are great singers. It's not that. It's just we're not on the same page. So Doogie is that guy. He's perfect for it.
The firestorm or the roller coaster that you went through with the band in the last few years, that must have weighed on you. And maybe it's just me reading into things too much, but several songs on this album, there's a heaviness to them, not just from a music, but from a lyrical concept. We hear things like dreams can turn to nightmares. Yesterday is gone. Time to move along and let it all burn. If you read all the lyrics of Sword of Deliverance, for example, there's some anger in this record. Am I seeing ghosts, or is there some truth to that?
Well, I wouldn't say you're seeing ghosts, but to be totally honest, we didn't write any songs. There were no songs written about Graham or the past or anything like that, to be honest. So Sword of Deliverance, Doogie had written that before that he was in the band. So that song in particular is no, there's no reference there to that. And the new material is not either. Doogie doesn't think that way. When he writes lyrics, I think he just writes about subject matter. He has an experience, he writes about it. And he's not the kind of guy that would do that would write about a negative thing, For sure. And we didn't want any negative stuff following us around, and there's no need to be. No need for that. And Giles wrote lyrics to a song and helped with some lyrics. And same thing, we wrote about music and about subject matter that had nothing to do with past members or whatever. And I always look at it like a lot of bands go through a lot of people. Man, things happen, and this happens in the business. And in the business world, the same thing. Any business, people come and go, and that's what it is. Sometimes it's unpleasant, and sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just like, okay, well, that happened, and so what? Like Steve Vai leaving the band and Yngwie leaving the band. Those guys were good friends, and I knew Yngwie was destined to do his own record, and he and I talked about it. He said, yeah, I'll finish the tour. He said, but I got to go do my own thing. And I said, yeah, I know that. No big deal. And we had fun together. It was no big deal. And Steve, the same thing. When he said he joined David Lee Roth, he was going to join David Lee. Oh my gosh, what a great gig for him. So I was happy for him. What a great opportunity. So there were no hard feelings there at all.
mean, one of my favorite songs on the album, and I did have a chance to listen to the full album already, is what is it? Return to Nevermore, which I think is a really cool song.
I love that song.
A little different. I thought it was kind of like a funny coincidence that almost at the same time that I was sent the promo to listen to the album in advance was the same day, I believe, that Graham announced Jeff Loomis, formerly from Nevermore, to join his new band.
Oh, right, that's funny.
Return to Nevermore. I thought that's a funny. I know it's nothing to do with that, but
no, nothing to do with it. It is funny though. It's just, just a coincidence. Never thought of that.
Do you believe in now? Your time's at hand. Lord of the last day.
Anyway, let's go into the music, because you guys are not holding back on this new album. So the album, opens powerful with Guardian Angel. It's been released as a single already. We've got Nigel from Saxon there. We've got Don as well from Riot. This song could have been on Thunder Steel back in the 80s. From Riot, and I love it. I love the powering bass on that song, and then we're still kind of recovering from that when you guys followed up with it. I think is, again, one of my favorite songs on the album, with Night Watch, when you accelerate even further.
Yeah.
You were not lying earlier when you said this might be your heaviest album yet. This is a powerful album.
Yeah, I think so, and that was the intention. No holes barred writing. When we wrote songs, we didn't think about like, oh, well, watch out, we can't be too fast or too many fast songs. We just went for it.
In contrast to that, the epic closer of the album, Dark Day for My Soul, I believe.
Yeah.
That long, epic, almost like a power ballad. That contrast then really works as well. Again, a song that on the surface looks like, could be talking about a long lost love, but could be interpreted, I think, in many different levels as well.
Yes.
What does that song represent for you?
Gosh, I wrote the music, and when I wrote it, I was just having a ball writing. I mean, drawing from my influences. I mean, the organ, that's like a Procol Harum influenced organ parts and stuff. And so when Doogie sent me the first demo, I sent him a demo and said, "Hey, do you like this? It's very different. It's not as heavy as the other stuff, but and he loved it. And he did that bluesier kind of approach to it, which I loved. Lyrically, I'm not sure what he was talking about, what's going on in his head about that one. We never really talked about it. I didn't say, "Oh, what do you mean by that?" So I'm not sure. I'm not when I listen to songs, sometimes I'll listen to the lyrics and I don't think about what they mean. I just take them for what they make me feel.
With a band that has such a unique backstory as you guys, with a couple of very well-known classic albums from the 80s, and then a long period of silence, and then strong, well-received new albums, and I think the new album will also be very well received by the fans. The next big hurdle for you is what is the set list going to be? Because you've got obviously all those songs that a lot of people want to hear from back in the day. You've got a lot of great new stuff, but you're really going to be promoting 2 albums when you're going to go on the road again, because a lot of fans out there didn't get a chance to experience you guys play any of the previous album as well. So have you already started puzzling that together, what that would look like?
Well, we have a set list for this upcoming tour, and it will be 5 older ALCATRAZZ songs. A 6th one may slip in there, but right now we're doing God Bless Video off Disturbing the Peace, and then 4 off of No Parole, and we're doing some Rainbow stuff that Doogie wrote with Rainbow, and we're doing some Michael Schenker stuff that Doogie wrote. A couple of those are he wrote for the Schenker Fest record, I call it. So they're pretty current, late stuff for him. And then we're doing London 1666 off the previous record. But we got 20 songs. You can only we got 90 minutes. You can only play so long. We would like to play for 2 hours or whatever, but you just can't do it these days. I mean, in certain situations you can, but in Japan we did last year. We played for 2.5 hours.
Wow.
Because they want to hear everything. They want to hear everything you've ever done. They want to hear all the Rainbow stuff. So we did the whole Down to Earth album. We did a whole bunch of other material, and we did the whole No Parole record. So that was crazy. Like Doogie and I both love Return to Nevermore. We really wanted to do that, but it just wasn't fitting with this group of songs. Not to say we may get to London and start rehearsing the set and go, you know what? Let's put it in there. It's just unknown.
Well, the fans will have to come to the shows and find out for themselves starting next month in the UK.
Yes.
Jimmy, I feel I could ask you a million more questions. Time is unfortunately running out. But to wrap us up, we obviously have the new album coming out. We've seen a couple of music videos. Shows are being planned. Is there anything else that the fans should be aware of what's going on with you?
It's going to be a good live show. It'll be a really good vibe on stage. We're all on the same page about the direction of the band, and this is the first time in a long time it's been like that, where you really had 5 people on stage that are all thinking the same way, playing the same way, feeling the same thing, and that's huge to me. That's the personal aspect of a band is a way important to me, as important as the music and the songs. Because without that, you just throw some guys on a stage that may be great players or great songs, whatever, and it never works. It's not a good thing. It's uncomfortable. So this is a good situation. This will be fun, and it'll be really powerful live. So I really want people to come out and see us.
Well, bring the show on the road. Bring it up here in Canada. We'll come and see you guys play.
Okay.
Jimmy,
Where are you?
Oh, I'm here in Toronto.
Toronto. Okay. Yeah, my good friend Eddie Kramer lives in Toronto. Producer that did Disturbing the Peace. Yeah, I love Eddie, and I miss him.
Well, the best way to catch up with him is to take the show to Toronto, and then we can all hang out and watch the new songs and the new band.
I want to come to Toronto to visit Eddie, though. We've talked, and it's just hard. I'm busy.
I bet you.
And so is he,
Awesome.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. I look forward to the release of the album, and I can't wait to see those tour dates being booked and starting to see you guys play on stage again.
Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
You are awesome for watching this video. Click right here to see more content like it and subscribe to the channel.